You got to really get your mind in the right place of saying, I don't know these people. They don't know me. And honestly, me going back and forth with them is helping them more than it's helping me. If you are trying to build something, if you are putting your ideas in the world and you want to go viral, are you ready for the feedback? Are you ready for the pushback? It really helped me understand why celebrities don't respond on social media. What does it say about you if you don't even love yourself enough to look at your own picture and put your own picture on a flyer because you don't think you're perfect enough? How are you helping me grow and go through my insecurities if you can't even put your own picture on your flyer? I think a lot of people have that misconception of thinking, I'm gonna be a content creator, I'm gonna go and do videos, I'm gonna go viral, and I'm gonna get rich, and you're not.
Come on, this is the illest rhyme I ever wrote. Said I was born to be dope.
Welcome back to another episode of Born to be Dope. I'm your host, Ryan C. Greene. This is the show where we teach you how to 10x your impact, influence, and income by being unapologetically dope at being you. I'm back in the chair solo this week. I'm going to do a few more solo shows. There's a lot of stuff I like to share, especially on a leadership tip that I want to make sure I want to keep waiting to get the right guest. I'm like, you know what, Ryan, do it yourself, right? So we're going to do that as well. Just make sure that that we can keep the show going, keep the party going. Next week, though, tune back in. We got a great guest all the way from California going to be on the show with us next week. So that's going to be an exciting show. But definitely, let's jump into this. Before we do, make sure you go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Please do all the things. If you like this information, comment on whatever platform you're watching and help us spread the word. If you think this show is dope, tell someone about it, please. All right. I want to give a quick shout out to all my allergy sufferers. If you are out there, it is allergy season. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Maryland, so I don't know where you are. Type in the comments where you are watching from, where you're listening from. If y'all deal with allergies, I need a new place to go. I need some place to live during this allergy season, man, because this is out of control. So I might sound a little stuffy, but I'm good. I mean, I'm getting better. But let's jump in today. I want to talk today really about something that happened to me. And it's something that I know if you are online, if you're a content creator, if you are a content producer, you are just some kind of creative and you have to do content. What's the one goal everybody goes for, right? They want to go viral, right? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today, going viral and what it means, what it looks like, and how it happened to me. So I'm going to share my personal experiences about going viral on different platforms, what I learned from those platforms and that experience of going viral, and some few takeaways that I took that I hope that one's going to I know they're going to benefit my business and how I move forward, but hopefully they can benefit you as well. I want to give a few caveats first and foremost. I am speaking purely from someone who shares information as a business. So what I'm sharing about is if your platform is someone who shares information, if you are trying to transform lives, infopreneuring they call it, whatever it is, if you share information and that's your bag, then that's at the angle I'm coming from. So this isn't about people who are just doing like entertainment kind of content or doing skits or doing things like that. That's not my lane. I don't know how that works. So I'm only going to show you about my lane and where I come from and how it happened. I'm going to talk about a couple of different platforms. And right off the bat, I'm sharing, I don't have a huge social media platform. I'm following rather on any platform, right? So this is not something I'm talking about. So I'm talking about people who just are regular people, regular followers. I know people who aren't even in, social media for real, have bigger followers than me. So I'm talking about that. And then when I say the word viral, it's relative, right? So it's relative where for some people, 200,000 views may be great. For other people, 200,000 views, they ready to jump off a bridge. So it's all relative. So we're going to share, and again, it's all my personal information, and I'm going to share numbers. I'm going to share real information, what I got from it, and think it'll benefit those who are watching. Because if you're growing, and if that's your goal, you say, I want to go viral. I want to go viral. As people say, I want to go viral. The first question is why? Like, why do you want to go viral, right? I've never gone with the intent. I've never posted anything with the intent of saying I want to go viral. I've always had the idea that I want to connect. I want to reach people. I want to get engagement, not just go viral. Like to me, when I hear the word viral, it means that people just going to see your stuff. People may see you and share your stuff a lot, but it's deeper than that to me because I'm always like, once you go viral, what's next? So as someone like myself who's building a business, then I need the next step. Like if you see my video gets shared a lot, or my picture gets shared a lot, my post gets shared a lot, what's next? I'm not in the business just being popular, right? I really don't want to just be popular for popularity's sake. I've got big enough and good enough self-esteem that I don't need other people to I don't get off on likes, right? So likes and that doesn't do anything for me, doesn't build my business. I don't care about that part. So when I'm talking about going viral, it's like I need engagement. I need the next action. So that's where I'm coming from. So you understand my mindset where I'm going with this. And again, this is not me trying to teach anyone on how to go viral. This is not going to be a conversation about best practices, anything like that. That's not my expertise. I'm just telling you what happened with me and the things that I learned. All right. So let's jump right into it. All right. First, let's talk about platforms because each platform is different. Going viral is going to be different on each platform. And that's really what I noticed when I had a post that had gone viral on each platform. I was like, well, this was different. And I was like, well, what's the differences? And that's kind of what really sparked this conversation. So for me, my main platform that I've been using the longest and the deepest is Facebook. I know some people like Facebook's for old people. Well, guess what? I'm 51. I might be old, but and I'm okay with that. The reason I've always loved Facebook was primarily because I was able to connect with people that I knew, but also I enjoy the conversation. Again, I'm not out here just trying to get likes and people knowing my name. I want conversation. I like to actually engage. I like to actually exchange ideas. I know it's kind of difficult for the last few years to really get that same thing off of social media. But for a while there, you could have conversations. You could be in groups and learn about different people. You could explore. It was so much you could learn about other people, other cultures, other things, other ideas through Facebook. So that's why I've always loved Facebook. Why I never really got with Twitter because I couldn't understand like how does the conversation go, how does it flow. So Twitter was more like a news type. Here's a idea, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, I really never got into Twitter because the conversation wasn't deep enough for me. So I'm talking about Facebook today. I don't even use Twitter. I got off Twitter a couple of years ago once who took over and all that stuff. I don't even use Twitter. So no judgment for those who do, or maybe a little judgment. But I don't use Twitter, so we're not talking about Twitter. But we are going to talk about TikTok. I'm not on TikTok anymore either, but I was on TikTok for a while. So I'm going to talk about my experiences on TikTok, Threads, and then Instagram. All right, so those are the four we're going to talk about: Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and Instagram. So I want to talk about first about what went viral. And I'm just talk about one post, right? One post and understanding what went viral and what it did. So I'll start with TikTok. TikTok, I went viral on a post, and let me see. I think I might have had maybe 600-700 followers on TikTok. Again, TikTok wasn't really the thing I spent a lot of time on. It's one of the things where I got because people said you got to have it, and then I got it so I could look at other people's posts. So I was like, I'll just get a TikTok account. So once I started doing a lot of Instagram stuff, I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and post it on TikTok too. But one thing about social media, again, we're talking from the business perspective, not entertainment, is you got to really know where your audience is. You got to know who's on each platform and where your audience is. And so for me, TikTok became more of a popularity platform for me. I was getting likes. People might see my stuff, but I wasn't getting any movement from it. I wasn't getting much business from it. It was just, oh, that's cool. And again, it was stuff like, the stuff that I was doing everywhere else wasn't really getting me the results on TikTok that I was looking for. So, because a lot of my target audience wasn't necessarily on TikTok they weren't where I was going anywhere. So, there was a post that actually was a collaborative post that I had on TikTok that I think got about, actually I got viral a couple times on TikTok now. Think about it. I wish I probably should have kept it so I could get the numbers. But I'm talking about like 17,000, 20,000 views and different stuff on TikTok, right? And here's the thing about TikTok. So when I went viral on TikTok, I went viral because there was a lot of views, right? And on TikTok, that was the end of it. Like viral on TikTok meant I got a lot of views. Some people may comment, but that was it. They hit a little heart real quick. but the view count was high. And that was the end of it on TikTok. So I was like, okay, well, that was fun, but what was it for? All right. So then there was Instagram. And on Instagram, I honestly put this on the list just because there's been posts on Instagram that most of my collaborative posts have gone viral. And honestly, it's viral based on me, but probably the person that I was collaborating with wouldn't consider viral, right? Like I've had some celebs that I've done work with that we collaborated on posts, and it may have gotten, in the tens of thousands of views. I want to say, matter of fact, I'll pull it up while we're here. Let me find, I think my most viral post on Instagram would have been a post I did with Angel Massey from Real Housewives of Potomac. And I'm scrolling down to find it for you. And this was, here we go. Oh, wow. It was way more than I thought it was. And actually, it wasn't even my post. So that was a post I was collabed on. So that's the thing. That post I was collabed on, 866,000 views. That's a big deal. 866,000 views. That wasn't even my original post. I was collabed on that post. So, but even with that, so you're talking about 866,000 views on that post. Let me see. It was tons of comments on that post. That was the post that I did the photo shoot for her, and so the magazine posted it. She didn't post it. The magazine posted it, and collab with her, collab with me. So it was great feedback. I'm looking. I don't even see. So comments weren't even on for this post. There was 1,900, almost 2,000 hearts or likes on the post, 21 reshares on the post, but a lot of people saw it. But it didn't lead to much. Like, it didn't lead to more. No one saw that post and was like, oh, let me find a photographer for that post and follow them, right? So that was that. Then there was Threads. Threads, most recently, I actually had a post go viral on Threads. I posted about the Oscars. And Threads is funny to me because Threads, I really, again, only have Threads because it's attached to Instagram. So whenever I post on Instagram, it automatically goes to Threads. And that's the extent of my Threads life ecosystem, right? Let me pull up how many followers I have on Threads. Threads. So when I'm on Threads, like I really don't, like, I try to keep it. I know people have, go to all 7 platforms. We'll talk about that in a second and do this and do that. I'm trying to keep it simple. I'm one of those. You have 2 schools of thoughts. Go to as many platforms as you can, post across all platforms, or find 2 to 3 platforms. You want to focus on that and hone in on those. I'm in that category. I find 2 or 3 that I really want to focus on. And for me, that's Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So those are my main ones. So what am I talking about? Oh, here we go. Followers. I have 517 followers on Threads. Okay. I have 517 followers on Threads, but the post that I made that went viral after the Oscars was, here we go. Of course, it's taking forever to load. There we go. And so before I even get to what that does, so on Threads, the thing I was going to say about Threads being weird is because, like, I'll post on Threads and literally get 0 engagement, like no likes, no views, no comments, nothing, like 0. And again, I just do it because it's attached to my Instagram. So when I posted this one, I actually posted it directly to Threads, but I've used one of the subjects on there. So I did Oscars 2026, and it was like the day after the Oscars, and I posted about Ryan Coogler winning the best screenplay award, and that joint went viral, like 13.6 thousand hearts, 130 comments, 1,000 reshares, 370. I don't know what you call them when you send them to somebody else, or whatever they call those on Threads. I wish I could see the number of views. Can I see that? Oh, there it is right there. 79,000 views. So that post got 79,000 views. And nothing, like everything else gets nothing, right? So that was crazy. Like, I didn't expect it. I wanted to get something off my mind. I posted it on Facebook too, and then ended up posting it on Threads. So that one got 79,000 views. It went viral. But the thing with that, and had a lot of comments, but then that was it with that, right? So it was like, okay, well, that was different. I see, but it didn't really grow anything. So my thing was about growth, or what's it going to be? Am I getting new followers? Am I getting new people engaged or whatever? And again, this was just a random post. This wasn't a business post. So there was no call to action or anything like that. And that's the thing about going viral, is that a lot of times things that you will try to spend hours and days on producing, hoping this is going to be the one, this is going to go viral, they won't hit. And then you just post something random and they'll be like, oh, well, that's the one that went viral. So, but the thing about that is that while that one the one that you don't even expect may go viral, you still need the other stuff, because you think that if people start looking, once someone finds you and like the one viral post, they'll probably go to your page, maybe see some of the older stuff, or if they follow you, then some of the older stuff will start, their algorithm will start to fill their feed with some of your other stuff. So you want to have it anyway. But then there is Facebook. Now, Facebook, I just went viral with that one. I've been on Facebook the longest. The first time I've actually gone what I consider viral on Facebook. My largest following is on Facebook. I have a combined over 8,000 followers on Facebook. Now, Facebook is funny because I do have the business page, but then I have my personal page, which I turned into whatever they call this page, where you can actually monetize your personal page if you put stuff public or whatever. So that's what I have on Facebook, right? So Facebook, like I said, I've always liked Facebook because of the conversation, because of, I know who I'm talking to most times. But this whole monetization thing, you've got to put yourself public to monetize it. So we'll talk about some of the things that happen with that. But I'm going to first talk about the results from Facebook. So this post, I want to give you the most recent numbers as of this filming. Are we going? Did I go back too far? I went back too far. Hold on. Oh, it's right there. I'm looking right at it. All right. So this post I made, and this post had 193,000 views. 193,000 views. Now that blew my mind. So the engagement stats were 16,000 people clicked on it, 5.1 thousand people reacted to it, 558 people commented, 200 people shared it, and even 60 people saved it, right? So, and that was a monetized post. I'm going to talk about that on another one of the points. But so that was Facebook. And the thing about Facebook and going viral on Facebook that was weird to me was that after all of that engagement, people like on my page, because it's like a hybrid page, people didn't just follow me. Like a lot of people sent friend requests. So on Facebook, I'm used to talking to my friends. So, and I don't always, my Facebook page is not purely business. I do a lot of personal stuff, a lot of funny stuff, whatever, thoughts and things like that. The thing is, when you do public posts, anybody can watch it. Anybody can see it. Anybody can comment. And if it's a regular, like I said, I don't really go viral. So you may get one person may pop up who will like it or leave a comment. But this post went viral, and people from all over were commenting, and then sending friend requests. So the difference there was where I was getting the comments, getting the engagement. It was two things. One, I wasn't expecting friend requests. So I got like hundreds of new friend requests, but I'm like, well, you didn't just want to just follow me. Like, you saw a post that I liked, that you liked. That didn't mean we're friends, right? Like, I don't really want you to see everything yet. So that was something I had to get. I wasn't ready for. I didn't know that was going to happen. Where I thought people might just follow me and just grow that following. But again, that's partly because of the page I use it on that went viral. It wasn't just my purely business page. So that's something you want to think about and be ready for. Like, again, going back to the first question, are you ready to go viral? Are you prepared for going viral? And then the second piece was and it's going to go right into point number 2, is that the engagement was different, right? On Facebook, I'm used to having conversations with people I know, people who know how I think, how I look at the world, understand my humor in a lot of ways. So, but when I went viral with this post, there were people from all over, and I understand that. So it's different. Like if someone's in my circle I'm connected with and we're friends on Facebook, if they say something and I don't quite understand it or I don't agree with it, there's a certain tone, there's a certain way, there's a certain grace I might give someone I know, how I'm going to respond to it. But if it's someone I don't know, then it's like, the whole thing is different. It's like, how do we navigate this? Do I want to go in on this person? Especially if something stupid that they said or I disagree with. Do I really want to go in with this person, or do I want to, because I know everybody's watching. And that's my thing. When I'm on social media, I don't just talk. I might comment on something, not just specifically because of that person and what they said, but I understand someone else might be reading it, right? So then I think about that. Like, how do I want to react to someone who I don't even know if they're real, who may say something about what I said that in the past, people didn't respond that way, but because they know me. But when you are talking about going viral and sharing stuff with strangers, you don't control who comments. You can't control how they respond to that. You can't control that. And I think that we see that when we look at celebrities and people who are internet famous, it's easy to leave a comment and don't care. It's easy to say whatever you want to say because you don't know that person, right? But when it happens to you and you're not a celebrity, you're just a regular person, I'm just a regular person, it's a different situation. So if you are trying to build something, if you are putting your ideas in the world and you want to go viral, are you ready for the feedback? Are you ready for the pushback? Are you ready for I had to say, I can't sit there and comment and respond to all these comments. Like, it really helped me understand why celebrities don't respond on social media. Can you imagine getting hundreds of comments that were maybe negative? And this wasn't my situation, not all of them, but we understand that so many people will get their rocks off of just being negative on social media. You don't have time to go through responding to all of that. And then if it's something that you actually believe in and agree with and people are speaking negatively about it, think about how that impacts your psyche, where all you deal with the negative comments and how you got to deal with that. We talked about that before on one of the early episodes with Carlina Davis when she was here and started going viral. Just talking about dealing with the negativity. Like, I've had negative comments before, but one or two, right? But when you start to, everything you post starts going like that, or when it's new, that newness, like, oh, wow, you got to really get your mind in the right place of saying, I don't know these people. They don't know me. And honestly, me going back and forth with them is helping them more than it's helping me. So when we talk about going viral, we're talking about building a business, talking about building your platform, you stand to lose a lot more by going back and forth with strangers on the internet than you do to gain it, right? Now, there's the monetization game where they talk about, we'll get to that, that's the next point, monetization game where it, all engagement is considered good engagement, right? So you don't necessarily want to go deleting those comments. If they're offensive, if they're, racist, delete that, block them. And if it's impacting your mental health and making you feel bad, delete it and block it. But on the general, they say you're trying to monetize, they say the comments help, right? Let somebody else go in there and fight your battles, let them comments ring up, and engagement rings up, it helps you. But at what price, right? At what price? And that's why I think that we see social media now is at the place where it's all about monetization. It's all about, people will deliberately post lies, things that they know aren't true or they know are inaccurate, because they know that there's millions of people out there who are waiting to chime in and say, you're wrong. They can post a picture, posting a story about Morgan Freeman, but then having a picture of Idris Elba. And they know thousands of people are going to run the comments and say, that's not Morgan Freeman, right? Or posting a story about something and just giving an inaccurate fact or something like that, because they know people are going to run to the comments to change it, to correct them. And that's the issue that we see now with social media, where it's not even about the information. It's not even about the engagement. It's about just getting people on your page. And so you got to watch out for that. That's why I honestly, I don't read comments on other people's posts. I don't go into them. If I see a post that I don't like, I might make a comment, but I'm not going back. I'm not reading everybody else's comments. If it's an article, I just don't read the comments. I stay out of the comments because I know how it's going to impact me. I know I'm going to get upset. I'm going to get mad. So I can't get at them, right? Listen, content creation is not your problem. Clarity is. You can create and post all the content in the world and still not see the results you want because of one main reason. Your content lacks one clear message for one clear audience. And if you've been posting, recording, guessing, overthinking, and still not converting how you know you should, it's not because you lack talent, it's because you haven't cracked the code yet. Believe me, I've been there. That's why I created the Cracking the Content Creation Code. It's a free guide I put together to assist authors, speakers, and experts to finally position yourselves as the go-to authority by producing compelling, high-impact, high-converting content in just 4 hours a month. In this free guide, I'm going to show you how to master your signature message, build a revenue-generating media platform, and maximize your content to multiply your efforts across platforms. If you've ever thought, I know what I want to say, I just don't know how to package it and consistently show up in a way that gets me booked and actually makes me money, this is for you. But I'm a trainer at heart, so I'm taking it a step further. I'm hosting a free live webinar, Cracking the Content Code, Mastering Your Message, where I'm exposing the one thing 80% of personal development content is missing that stops it from converting, and I'm breaking down the exact framework I use to amplify my client's voice, story, and authority before they ever hit record. You're going to leave this webinar knowing who your ideal customer avatar is and exactly how to market to them without being salesy. So download the free guide and save your seat for the next free webinar, and let's get you creating the content that actually speaks directly to your ideal prospect, magnifies your brand like an authority, and monetize your expertise. Head to mypodcastpartner.com/code and let's get it cracking. I'll see you on the other side of the webinar. Be dope. So, but let's talk about monetization deeper, because I'm going to talk about the money, right? And I'm going to tell you what people don't tell you. Everybody talk about monetization, want to get viral because they think there's so much money being made monetizing your posts. Now, I can only get paid from Facebook right now. Like Instagram, you got to have 10,000 followers before you can even get monetized. I don't even know if you can monetize Threads, if you want to monetize Threads. TikTok, I told you I'm off of TikTok. But on Facebook, you can monetize Facebook based on how you have your page set up. So this post that went viral, and honestly, because of the content of the post, when I originally posted it, it wasn't even a public post. Like I wanted to say something that I shared, and I didn't make it a public post. So for the first 24 hours, it wasn't even a monetized post. But then as things started to happen, I wanted to make sure that my voice was heard. I realized that this was a subject that a lot of people started talking about, and my voice, my position on it wasn't out there like it should have been. So I just made it public. Didn't change anything on the post, just changed the privacy from friends to public, and it took off. So all that, I told you the stats, but question then is how much did it make? And I'm going to share exactly what it made. Like that post, that one post that got almost 200,000 views. I'm going to use 200,000 for easy math. 200,000 views made $26. $26. Now, some of you are like, $26, I'll take it. Shoot, I'm like, $26, I'll take it. $26, that's a quarter tank of gas right now, right? A quarter tank of gas. But so I took the $26. But my point in making it, and $26 honestly is more than I made in months alone, combined on a Facebook post. But my point of posting it wasn't to make the money. My point was to make the statement. But if you're going to pay me, I'm going to take the money. So, but I wanted to show you that because here's a post that I told you did 200,000 views, right? 16,000 engagement, whatever the numbers were. Let's just use the views. 200,000 views to make $26. So if I wanted to 10x that and take that 26 and a 260, then that means I had to 10x the views, right? So go from 200,000 to 2 million views. 2 million people seeing something only make $260. If I want to make to 2,600, that means 20 million people. I ain't built like that. I told you I only got 8,000 followers. So a lot of times people want to go viral and think that the content itself is what's going to make them the money. And here's the rub. Here's what you really want to be paying attention to in this episode. Again, in this field, in the information sharing business, do you have information that 20 million people are going to watch every single time you post a video? The majority of us don't, if you're not famous, right? If you're not famous, if you're not Oprah, if you're not, a famous person, you probably don't have that. If you're not an Obama, you probably don't have that. Again, I'm not talking about entertainers. I'm not talking about like a Kevin on Stage, someone like that, who will tell you, Kevin on Stage will tell you he posts 3 videos a day across 7 platforms every day. That's 21 pieces of content every day. Do you have 3 pieces of content that you can post or the time to even do that 7 days a week? On 7 platforms, 7 days a week, probably not, right? So when you are in business, you actually have to go out there and do your business. So you don't have time to do all of that. So understand that the content itself, while it's cool, while it's going to give you some income, That's not where the money's being made. And I think a lot of people have that misconception of thinking, I'm gonna be a content creator. I'm gonna go and do videos. I'm gonna go viral and I'm gonna get rich. And you're not. But the problem is there's too many people out here who are selling you these false hopes online that you will. And that's not, the video itself is not going to get you rich. So what's going to get you rich, Ryan? First and foremost, I use that word because other people use that word, but I don't ever tell anybody you're going to get rich. I don't make any financial promises on what you can do. I'm going to tell you how to monetize your content, how to monetize your expertise is what we do, and how to do that. The content, the monetization comes from off platform, right? It comes from what are you doing off platform. So I said earlier, when you want to go viral, but then what's next? Why do you want to go viral? If you're in the information business, if you're doing podcasts, if you're doing shows, if you're doing content, what are you selling and monetizing off platform, right? Where are you getting people to go? Once they look at your video, what are they doing next? What are you selling? So that's where the money is really coming from. These videos and this content is really just commercials. All right, it's paid airtime. It's letting people know you're out there because you want them to learn about you, get to know you, trust you, join your tribe, and then build that relationship, and then buy something else, right? If you're entertainment, you want to buy a ticket to something. If you're an entrepreneur, maybe you want to buy your a book. Maybe you want them to buy some merch. Did I say merch, by the way? You can get this Born to Be Dope shirt on weardopetees.com. You got t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got all the things. So you can get Born to Be Dope merch. Maybe you want them, if you're a speaker, you want to get speaking engagements, you want to get a book tour, you want to get other media exposure, things like that. So what are you selling? How are you monetizing off platform? You've got to get people off the platform. That's where we have the call to action. So the monetization part about going viral is like, if you go viral, 20 million people see a video, and then what happens if you don't have no plan after that, then you may get a little change from that one video, but then what's next? You're not building anything, right? So think about how many times we've seen people go viral, and then all of a sudden their whole life changes. They're on some tours doing things, or they're doing appearances. They're trying to maximize that moment. They get as much money as they can from their viral moment. Whereas if you have a business that you're building, the reason I do this podcast, not because I'm trying to be so popular in front of the camera, even though I enjoy being in front of the camera, enjoy sharing information, but the podcast is the first step into a business I've built behind this podcast, and how I help other people grow as leaders, how we help produce other people's podcasts, right? So all of this is a commercial for my business, for the monetization parts that happen off platform. That's why I tell people to do podcasts so much, because this helps you grow to get the customers to you off platform. So that's the part about monetization. What I've learned that the social media is that those videos, it's just not going to get, even on YouTube, we talk about monetizing on YouTube now. And while I tell y'all, please just monetize it, help us monetize by getting to the, YouTube has these strict rules. You got to have 1,000 followers. You got to have 4,000 view hours. Before you get all that, they're just going to show you stuff and make all the money, keep all the money for themselves, right? So you want to get to those monetization levels, but you understand that that's not what's going to pay you, all right? And then finally, probably the most important thing I learned and through going viral in these different platforms is that the authentic, relevant content still hits. That's the thing. You want to be authentic, and your content has to be relevant, right? So I used to do a training. I'm gonna say used to, because I don't want y'all out there stealing it. I still do it. It was called RAVE, right? How to get people to rave about you. And RAVE was an acronym for relevant and authentic. That was the R and the A. I'm not gonna tell you what the V and the E is. But the RAVE was relevant and authentic. You got to have relevant content. Relevant content is good because if you're doing content that's timely and relevant, people are already searching for it anyway. People are already typing in, well, what happened with such and such, and you've got a show that comes up about it, or you got a video that comes about it, or you got a blog post that you wrote about it. Think about when people share stuff, when the big things happen online, they're sharing people's think pieces and blogs and articles. Well, what if you were the one writing those think pieces, blogs, and articles or videos, right? So it's got to be relevant so that when people are talking about a topic, they can use your voice to talk about it. Everyone's not gonna be out there making videos about everything, right? But if you're the one that's the relevant voice at that moment, that either A, shows up when people search or people already follow you and they're looking for you, then that's going to help you grow. And then authentic. I want to talk about this just a quick second because authentic means it's got to be your real voice, right? People want to know that you really believe what it is that you're talking about, what it is that you're preaching and teaching, right? It's got to be the real you. It's got to be a real voice. That's what Born to be Dope is all about, just being unapologetically dope at being you. Whatever your voice is, whatever your style is, don't fall into the trap of trying to do what everyone else does or make your stuff look like everyone else's look because that's how everybody looks, right? Make it look like you want it to look that fits you and your personality and your style. And if that fits other people's stuff, then so be it. But be authentic. And on that point, people, and I might do another whole show about this alone, but I want to give you a little nugget on this. Like AI right now, you see a lot of people who have spent time positioning themselves as an expert, positioning themselves as an authority, positioning themselves as a professional and stuff, and then they're giving that all away, giving all that brand authority, all that authenticity away to artificial intelligence by making AI flyers that everyone knows is AI and everyone's stuff looks alike, or they're using AI photos that everyone knows that ain't you in the picture, right? Like what does it say about you if you don't even love yourself enough to look at your own picture and put your own picture on a flyer because you don't think you're perfect enough? How are you helping me grow and go through my insecurities if you can't even put your own picture on your flyer? I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that. That's not what this show is about. We talking about going viral. But understand that you can't let AI get in the way of your authenticity, right? AI should be helping you, maybe help you get your thoughts together, get your plan together. You say, hey, I want to talk about this, and organize your thoughts, give you some stuff, but then you still need to put yourself in it. It still needs to be you. It needs to be authentic, and that's what people want, right? AI can help you speed up the process, but if it's not authentic, people are going to scroll right through it. Once I've seen 3 videos of somebody popping out the window with the same prompt, I'm going to skip the 4th through 200th of them, right? So you imagine, like, taking your spending all the time and money to learn to do a prompt to look like someone else who's in the same exact industry as you. Can you imagine if every fast food restaurant went and started changing all their colors to orange? That we're not, we saw coming to America. Everyone said McDonald's, you had McDowell's, then you had McDaniels, then you had I don't know, but you understand the way I'm going with this, right? You want to separate yourself. You want to be authentic, and the authenticity is what still resonates when it talks about going viral. People want that authentic, real you. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to just talk about my experiences going viral. Again, I know everyone has that goal, but you got to go going viral. And if you've never been there, you really don't know what's on the other side, right? And that was me. And again, it wasn't my goal to go viral, but once I did it this last time, I was like, well, there's some things that people don't know about this that I wish someone had told me, so you can prepare better when you're ready to do that. So again, follow me. Raji is dope. You can follow me on any social media that I'm on. Also follow the show Born to be Dope on IG. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. I look forward to you the next episode and helping you be dope.
This is the illest rhyme I ever wrote. Said I was born to be dope.